Welcome back to Las Vegas. The PGT PLO Series continues with a very exciting final table, which has a stacked lineup for you today. It's Event 5, a 15K buy-in progressive bounty of the wonderful 4-card game. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me in the booth as we take you through some wonderful action here on this lovely Saturday in October. We got Alex Foxen, Joni Jouhkimainen, Joe Serock, Isaac Haxton, Bryce Yockey, and Ben Lamb. What more can you wish for if you're watching some pot limit Omaha? Haxton is on top with a whopping 237 big blinds. Lamb has 109 big blinds, and all the rest are left to fend for themselves. They are going to have to find a double up real soon in order to be competitive in this event, or otherwise we'll be watching a heads-up battle between Haxton and Lamb. All right, here's the payouts. 12 places got paid. There were 82 total entries. The final six are guaranteed $36,900 and $169,000 up top. There's a look at the bounties. This is very important for today's final table. You get half that money if you bust the players on your screen. The other half gets added to your bounty for whenever you get eliminated. Isaac Haxton on a tear last night. His bounty worth $60,000, but of course, nobody able to bust him as of right now. Donnie, give me some insight into what happened last night. What did Isaac Haxton do, and how do we get here?
Ran over everyone. I mean, typical Ike fashion. You give the guy a big chip lead, and it's just kind of get out of the way because the train is coming on down the tracks.
All right, so Haxton is going to continue with what he does best, staying aggressive here. Now, interesting situation for Lamb. Of course, one of the best PLO players in the world. But right now, he might be better off going to lunch, waiting to get down to heads-up play. But, of course, the bounties are far too valuable to take that kind of approach here. Lamb makes the call for $65K. The other players get out of the way. And we have a heads-up battle between the two biggest stacks in the building. By the way, if you're catching us on YouTube, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're doing a 1-hour preview of the action that will be on PokerGO for the duration of today's final table. We've got a few more events coming up here at the PGT PLO Series. And then, of course, pivoting to the super-duper main event, the 100K Super High Roller Bowl PLO, which kicks off next week. All right. Ace 5-3, Haxton, top 2. Par for the course, Donnie. Par for the course.
Of course.
120.
Haxton starting things off right. That doesn't mean Lamb doesn't have anything. We don't know his cards just yet. It is interesting to note that Lamb did elect to, even play this hand. Just given the fact of, where everyone else is in chips, the only person that can hurt Lamb, ultimately bust him, is Haxton. So probably going to be some cautious treading here from Lamb.
Well, Lamb is going to come along and make the call for 120K. There's already more in the pot than what Jouhkimainen and Yockey have. And the deuce of clubs hits on the turn. Haxton pairs another card as we take a look at Lamb's cards. Ace, Queen, Jack 10. Any large card giving Lamb a second pair would be ideal.
Yeah, Lamb probably looking for obviously 2 pair or some backdoor diamonds that could come in here. Maybe even a Broadway card that could help him with the straight draw there. But I would say if you're Haxton, probably less concerned than you might normally be of your opponent having the wheel here, because I don't really see many hands that Lamb would be coming in with that include a combination of a 4. Just, again, given the distribution of chips here, I think Lamb's going to ultimately have to play kind of snug. I mean, not go too crazy, so
10 seconds.
I think Haxton can feel pretty confident betting here. I mean, Lamb's just a non-believer. He says, Haxton, you're probably just pushing me around, so I'm calling. Deuce pairs the board on the river, so full house over there for Ike. In his famous final table shirt.
Yeah, Isaac Haxton. The trademark gray shirt with the roses. I love the fact that he keeps this up.
10 seconds.
Let's see how much he decides to go for here. Almost 800 out there.
795.
He said pot. All right, 795. All of it.
Maximum pressure on Lamb on the very first hand of play. Lamb's hand not improving, even against a hand like Ace-King he'd be losing. Now, of course, Lamb very much aware of the fact that Haxton is incentivized to be aggressive here with the short stacks at the table. And Lamb correctly lets it go, and Isaac Haxton chips up to 6.4 million. Out of control. Absolutely out of control. All right, thank you all so much for joining us here inside the PokerGO studio. PGT.com has all your latest information on this series and everything else that we have going on at the studio. You can also check out the updated standings, the PGT overall leaderboard. Top 40 qualifies for that amazing $1 million free roll at the end of the year. Hand number 2. All eyes on Joni Jouhkimainen and Bryce Yockey, the 2 short stacks. Bounties up for grabs, so players will be incentivized to perhaps call a little lighter if they do decide to shove. And Yockey finds aces with a suit.
10 seconds. Time extension.
Action on Lamb, who again has not scanned his cards properly, so we're going to have to wait for him to get into action to see his cards.
Oh.
Seconds.
Haxton does come along and make the call.
Yockey does have a $21,000 bounty on his head. With that being an odd number, it would be 10K to the player who wins at 11K stays in play. Haxton also in there, gonna try and get that bounty, see if he can flop something good.
Of course, the name of the game is chasing bounties here. Bryce Yockey worth 21K, so it's a nice little payout here as Lamb flops a full house with Queen Deuce. Yockey, of course, in the situation he was sort of looking for. Now, a deuce not something immediately part of anyone's range, but in this case, both players have a deuce. Could see some fireworks here, Donnie, between Lamb and Haxton.
All in.
Could definitely see some fireworks.
Which is it?
190.
190.
All right, so Yockey's all in for 190. You can see on the screen he has 5% chance to win here. An ace would give him a larger full house. But right now, he is in a world of trouble.
Call.
Just a call from Lamb. That could...
I mean, this could be the invite.
It could certainly be the invite. I wonder if it does also raise alarm bells to some degree. Like, because not that I think Lamb should necessarily have a deuce off him, but what if he has queen-queen, right?
Right.
He might play a hand that contains queen-queen similar like this.
10 seconds.
Haxton, of course, has a deuce. 2 deuces out there. Unlikely for Lamb to have one of those. The price right now looks to be pretty good if it wasn't for the fact that Lamb already has a full house. So a jack or a 9 or even a 7 would make Haxton's life even more difficult.
10 seconds.
Call.
Call.
And there he comes with the call. No incentive for him to raise right now. So any future chips going into the pot on this hand will go to the side. Bryce Yockey needs an ace, and if he catches one, he'll be back up to 930K.
That's on the side.
Turn is the king of spades. Yockey still needing an ace and an ace only. Haxton is drawing dead, and now it's a matter of sizing
Check.
with regards to what Lamb comes with.
Check.
Action goes check, check. 8 of spades on the river. Haxton probably happy to go to showdown with trips here.
Check.
Haxton checks a third time. Now for Lamb here, Donnie, we can confidently go for a little bit of value, right? Nothing indicates that Haxton has him beat here.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be going for value. It's just a matter of how much. Hopefully your opponent backed into some spades. Of course, obviously, you're also hoping that he has a deuce, but because you have a deuce, a little bit less likely there.
And Lamb goes very small, bets 260K. That might be the right amount to get a call from Haxton here, just because of the bounty that's at stake in front of Bryce Yockey.
10 seconds.
Call.
Call.
And he does make the call to go to showdown. Yockey immediately realizes the bad news, that he must be beat, and he indeed is. Yockey shows his aces, and Haxton even shows his deuce. Ben Lamb's going to rake in a nice little pot, and Bryce Yockey collects $36,900. Takes home some bounty winnings as well. But a few of those chips are going to end up in Ben Lamb's bounty, as he now chips up to 2.4 million. Oh, excuse
I'm
me,
not doing it.
3.2 million.
I had a chat with Sean. I'm ready.
There was better
Down
trump
to the
cards.
final 5.
Yeah. For me.
There were no turn cards.
Huh?
There were no turn cards.
Starting stack.
There was worse turn
bounties.
cards. But that was a pretty good turn for you, probably.
Profitable though.
This is a pretty important
that really could have gone worse.
final table and a cash for a lot of these players chasing that top 40 on the PGT leaderboard. Alex Foxen still on the outside of the top 40 looking in, so he's trying to get some points.
What's that, bud?
Maybe.
Lamb, Haxton, Joni, all also on the outside
Relax.
looking in, so trying to close the gap,
Okay.
get closer to qualifying for the PGT Championship $1 million free roll. And then for Serock, we talked about it the other day. He made the final table of the WSB main event, which gave him his first PGT cash.
So these are
It did also put him in
5K
the
on my
top
head and
40,
5K for my pocket.
but you need 3 cashes to qualify. He got his second earlier in the series, and now this is his third, so Joe Serock is officially eligible.
Oh, wow.
As long as he maintains his standing in the top 40 to then
Lunge.
play in the $1 million free roll at the end of the PGT season.
Damn. That is phenomenal news for Serock. Now, of course, it comes into play now where additional points gained by Serock will increase his chip stack for that tournament.
Correct, yeah. The points that you earn, or that a player earns during the regular season, do equate to the starting chips in the PGT Championship. So let's say things were locked up right now. Jeremy Osmus being on top with 2,407
3-3.
points. He would
Or right at
start the
3-3.
PGT Championship with the largest chip stack.
5,000 more.
10 seconds.
Are we going to see our main event champ in the PGT Championship?
So Jonathan Tamao isn't here at the PGT PLO Series, but he did already tell us that he's going to be at the Texas PLO Roundup chasing a third cash. He has 2 caches already,
10 seconds.
so he just needs to find a third cache.
It'd be wild if the main event champ couldn't squeeze out one more
Yeah.
cash.
I mean, he'll have a lot of opportunities. Of course, there's I think 4 or 5 events as part of the PGT, the Texas PLO Roundup that's coming up in November. I think Tamao lives in the Houston area, so just a short drive over for him. 2 events at the NAPT count, the 25K Super High Roller and the 10K High Roller, that coming up in early November at Resorts World here in Las Vegas. And then, we'll have our popular Last Chance series in January, right before the PGT Championship, so I'm sure plenty of players will be out here battling for that.
I will forever refer to that series as the Jim Colby Heartbreak session.
Yes.
Heartbreak session. Last year, Jim Colby fell 1 spot shy of the top 40
100,000.
on the final event of the Last Chance series. He was seen drinking a glass of wine at the bar, trying to accept the bad news as we see Lamb drag another pot here. Donnie, we could be looking at Haxton versus Lamb heads up, even though we are 5-handed.
Yeah, I mean, so far they've just been the ones willing to put the chips in, of course. Jouhkimainen, I mean, he unfortunately went out with aces, but Lamb is not backing down at all. Probably just the factor of the fact that he's extremely deep. He's got more than 100 big blinds himself, so he can play in position a lot against Haxton. Ben Lamb is one of the best PLO players in the world, extremely experienced. So even if he does maybe have to worry about some aggression from Haxton, he could probably just navigate pretty comfortably.
Nice.
You were super high.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
Thank you.
How many greens do you have, Foxen?
90,000.
You have
13.
13 greens. Yeah.
Oh, is Alex Foxen here?
Yeah, I mean,
Not worth much
hard
at
to
all.
believe.
Don't even bother.
I haven't even seen him at all.
Yeah,
Probably won't.
barely showing him on camera.
Smart man.
He's worth something.
Somebody's already bothering.
What about coffee? The coffee lady. Is she coming? Thank you.
You got everything you need, Flows.
Probably.
Let's see. Yeah.
I also
Galen.
brought my speaker. I can play music if you guys want to.
I'm in. I'm in.
Let's do it. Sounds
What are
good.
you thinking?
I don't
What kind
know.
of music?
I could just fucking
I feel like you have
shuffle on my
a
light
very
and stuff.
eclectic shuffle, that'd be.
It could either be that, or I just do the SoundCloud and it'll be more house music.
Joe Serock and I
I like the former
once
idea.
went to EDC together back in 2010, I believe. Anton Wigg, Tyler Kennedy, part of the
70.
crew there.
Right, 70,000.
It's my first time ever going to a music festival, and we had a good time. Joe Serock definitely knows how to party.
All in.
Galen Landers in the chat is asking how many entries in this event. There were 82 entries. There were re-entries possible
That's a good hand.
as
Maybe
we
you're lighter than that.
come upon our next all-in.
Really does seem.
Jouhkimainen all-in for 110K. Haxton
Block the six.
like-
What the fuck?
makes the call. Almost no bounty money to be won here right now,
He doesn't have a
as
club.
Jouhkimainen did not bust a single
Maybe a big
player in the lead up to this final
I think Sean
table.
would have probably defended, right? Yeah, this is the punt, I guess. Yeah.
Ace Jack 6-6 versus the Kings of Haxton. 8-8 deuce on the flop.
You got gloves, Johnny?
He does.
It's exciting.
Feel one coming. Thinking of 7
Clubs
clubs.
make it more exciting indeed as the Finn needs an ace 6 or a club. And there's the club. Haxton now down to 1 out. The 8 of diamonds, the only card that is still available to him.
Hopefully there's another one on the river.
We've seen it before. Is it going to be there? Oh!
Wow.
It's the 8 of diamonds.
Yikes.
A 1-outer for Isaac Haxton
Guys,
on the river. Oh my God. Joni Jouhkimainen. I know he was very short, but Donnie, this is heartbreak.
No, that's just brutal. His final table run yesterday was short-lived, and then
That's
here,
the highest dopamine river run out, total
just
run
a
out
brutal
for
way
you.
to go.
Club and then 8.
Yeah, got it.
Alright. Can we get
Wow.
double
Not the biggest
sixes?
bounty, of course. You mentioned it. 6,000 was the bounty for
Anybody else need anything?
Joni Jouhkimainen, and that gets added to
And an aquapana.
Isaac Haxton's stack.
30, 30.
Can I have a pan of water, please?
Actually, I'll take a black iced coffee, please.
Jack in the chat says, I just threw up a little bit. Yeah, I feel the same. Now, of course, Haxton thought he had 4 outs, but 2 of the Kings were already folded, so the pure outs, he only had 1. Jouhkimainen, by the way, takes home $51,660. Probably will be quite pleased with that, given the fact that he never had any chips, Donnie.
Yeah, I mean,
80.
I don't think you can hate a final table run, of course. I mean, you drill the turn card like that, though, you're feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You're like, okay, maybe I got some life here. Can start spinning this up. You know, big blind is still pretty low, so fortunately it's off to event number 6 for Joni.
Yeah, definitely. Back into the registration queue for him. As Haxton raises the 80K, Serock with ace, king, king, 3 in the big blind. Does some deliberating, and he comes over the top for pot.
Yeah, he started this hand with 13 big, so this hand certainly good enough against the aggressive chip leader who's opening pretty wide, Haxton, so Serock can just try and get this money in. I mean, Haxton's probably going to call and just try and smash something and get that bounty.
Yeah, Serock is also worth $33,000 as far as the bounties go, so half of that would go straight to Haxton's pocket. 7 deuce, 3 2 hearts, and Serock is going to commit his final 105,000.
Oh! What was that?
What do we got here? Aces.
Threes, a gut shot,
Okay, we got kings for
5,
Serock.
6,
5, 6.
4.
5, 6, 4. Yep.
Full wrap.
Sounds as
Full
though
wrap.
Haxton has a full wrap.
Backdoor diamonds, too. You gotta.
Yep.
It's got the big.
Diamond's fine.
All right, Serock 65% to hold up here. Haxton looking to make a straight or hit a set. Turn is the jack of hearts. Doesn't change the equation here. Serock still looking, or Haxton still looking for a 6, a 5,
There you go.
or a 4.
Kind of indifferent. I think you're going to win.
I'm going to hit 3.
Yeah.
River card is the 4 of clubs. And that is one of the cards
Good game, bud.
to give Haxton the win. Joe Serock eliminated in 4th place. Takes home $70,000 for his efforts. Of course, also collected some bounties along the way. But Isaac Haxton
You're playing
continues
great,
to be on an absolute tear here
You're playing it made perfect.
at this final table.
Yeah.
His bounty also continues to grow, but nobody within touching distance.
It's smart of you to
Of
keep your
that
bounty so
bounty.
low. Like not busting one throughout the tournaments. Like no one tries to bust you.
That's how I got every riverbed 3 yesterday.
Yeah, strong strategy.
No one cared.
Yeah.
All right, 3 players left. Alex Foxen
Game
worth
flows.
13,000, so not a ton of value there.
Yeah, Haxton's bounty now up to 80,000 as he is the big chip leader, of course. Ben Lamb, 50,000. And Fox and Remko just mentioned 13,000. That cash, of course, very important for Joe Serock because he did lock up his 3rd PGT cash this season. He is now eligible to compete in the PGT Championship $1 million free roll. We talked about it a little while ago. He has enough points. He is well within the top 40, so good on Serock for locking up that 3rd cash.
All right, 3 players left, and they are some of the toughest ones in Las Vegas. If you want to work on your PLO game, try out the PLO Trainer by PLO Mastermind. Use their pre-flop pass. Get free access to this 6-max trainer for both 4-card and 5-card PLO by going to PLOmastermind.com/PokerGo. Get in the mix right now and start studying your Pot Limit Omaha game.
Because for a while, turnouts were really taking a hit on Sundays. So
Yeah. I assume the staff doesn't want to work on Sundays.
yeah, it was win-win.
Good spot here for Foxen.
90, right?
Finds a
They
playable one.
count
Very
that
good
small
one.
blind for the open.
Good thing I said pot.
Maybe a bad thing.
So far, a good thing.
Theoretically, yeah. I agree with you.
10 seconds.
Call.
Haxton going to go bounty hunting again, try and smash some on this flop. He also knows that Foxen, I mean, he can't really put a big dent at all. And look at this. Set over set.
Jeez. Well, at least this might give us a chance that it becomes a real battle. If Foxen picks up some additional chips here versus the steamroller that is Isaac Haxton.
Oh,
240. Pot size bet here from Haxton. Foxen moves all in, and we're going to see a quick call here. And Haxton, he's done it before. The 8 of clubs was also a one-outer, so hey, let's not count him out just yet. But right now, he is in search of the 6 of clubs to reduce this tournament to just 2 players.
That was a stupid thing to say.
It's too much.
Turns a 4 now. I don't know if you're going to lose, but turns a 4.
That's fine as long as I don't lose.
Shouldn't have said that.
that's gonna be the 8. He has the 3 blocked.
Haxton looking for some backdoor opportunities.
No.
King of Hearts on the turn. Keeps Haxton's outs
Almost
at just
looks like
1.
it could.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
think I
out
had
there,
a 6.
Donnie.
Of course it's out there. You already hit a one-outer once today.
There is.
Back it up a day or
Huh.
All right,
Thanks for
1
letting me
card to end Foxen's day. It's not there,
much?
and he gets himself a double up.
495.
Foxen currently with 644 points this PGT season, sitting in 67th place. That's 237 points outside of the top 40. First place in this event is worth 289 points. So if Fox is able to continue this comeback,
15K? And then Monday's the 25K.
then he would find
That's what I
himself
thought it
back
was.
inside the top 40.
Did you notice
That's weird. I
Foxen's
wonder why they
shock
aren't
when
doing
he
that.
realized
I
that there's a
can't play
tournament on
Wednesday, and
Sunday?
I thought that meant that I was not.
Yeah,
playing
wow.
the tournament.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, the majors, you know, PokerGO Cup, USPO, Poker Masters. Take Sundays off here for the, I'll say minors, but, you know, they're still big tournaments, of course. Mixed games, PGT PLO Series. We play those on Sundays.
Final 3 players guaranteed $95,940, and then the top 2 spots pay exactly the same amount, $169,740, because they are playing for the bounties that the players have collected.
You got like 4 now, Ben?
Not less. It's 1.2, 2.7, 3.3
3?
ish.
For those of you watching on YouTube, do know that this is a 1-hour preview. I mean, there's a chance it gets done in time, of course. It's going fast so far. Full final table will be available on PokerGO.com. You guys can use the promo code PGT now to get $20 off your first year of a new
How'd you have top
annual
set?
plan.
That's pretty crazy.
I had 2 aces in my hand and there was 1 on the board.
Yeah. Slow rolled them too. Showed the ace king. Ace king 3.
I had them. I stuck them together before I.
That's a strong,
It up.
strong player.
I thought I was like actually going to get it in the head that time.
Yeah. Thought you were playing a set versus a pair.
Yeah.
You had one out instead.
Ten seconds.
75.
75,000.
Another raise here from the chip leader, Isaac Haxton. Gets it done.
It's not holding. Yeah.
Okay.
They said they might change it.
Yeah. It's a very bad reason. Their reasoning for not doing the Sunday off was that it's not holding. I guess not a very bad reason, but
Hold'em is just a much more Christian game than PLO.
Okay.
understandably so when you play this game a little bit. Much purer. It's like 3.5 and 5.5 or something like that.
I have like 5.9 almost, I think. And just
10
over
million
3.
to play.
Thanks.
I have 3.3. Then you have 1.
1.2.
Fair.
10 seconds.
Heads of action between Foxen and Haxton on ace 10 deuce.
Check.
We got some deep stack PLO action on our hands here, Donnie. Fox on the short stack with 39 bigs. Lamb with 108. Haxton on 194. Starts to feel like a cash game at this point.
Yeah, super deep. You know, probably going to be a bit of a prolonged three-handed battle here. I mean, of course anything can happen, but I would imagine these guys hang out for a little bit. Jockey for some position.
Sorry.
Pot.
90,000.
10 seconds.
90K from Haxton here in the small blind.
Call.
Lamb's going to make the call with King Queen 7-5. Ace King Jack rolls off. Backdoor spades for Lamb, along with a gut shot, a pair. I have a suspicion, Donnie, that Haxton and Lamb probably have eons of experience playing against each other, both in tournaments and also some deeper live cash games. So probably lots of dynamics going on that we're not privy to.
Sure, I would agree with you.
$65.
65,000.
10 seconds.
The reason we can't see Haxton's cards is because he did not spread them out well enough on the scanner.
Good job, Ike.
It happens sometimes.
Way to go, buddy.
With 4 cards, of course, there can be some card overlap and makes it a bit more difficult.
Call. We have to spread the cards.
See, there you go. The dealer just telling him, can you please spread the cards?
Got it.
There we go. Cards appear on screen. And this hand, all of a sudden, very interesting, as both players have the backdoor spades. However, turn ends those hopes and dreams. But Haxton with top 2 well out in front here. Haxton does opt to check on the turn.
Check.
Doesn't want to get raised by Lamb at this point, but it's safe to assume that Lamb would have perhaps raised a straight on the flop immediately. Action did go check, check. 6 of clubs completes the board. Haxton gets the check mark.
10 seconds.
Check.
Haxton not going for thin value here. It looks as though
10 seconds.
Lamb is going to turn that king-queen into a bluff. Now, Don, he unblocks clubs himself, so does not seem like the greatest spot to fire here.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, you just got to figure, listen, I don't think I'm winning this hand, so let's just bomb at it.
In case of doubt, pull the trigger.
10 seconds.
Wow, and he gets
Oh.
it through. Look at that.
Does let it go. Haxton not confident his ace-jack is good here.
Yeah, and if you're in Haxton's shoes, you know, similar sort of thing. He didn't have any clubs either, right? So thinking maybe your opponent could back into some clubs there. Opponent could have a straight.
Lamb and Haxton, both 39 years old, have been around the game of poker for a very long time. Lamb, 16.6 million in career tournament earnings. Haxton rapidly approaching the 50 million mark on 49.6 million right now. Incredible.
You have 4 yellows?
career.
Yeah.
The reigning PGT Player of the Year,
1.16, I believe.
Haxton, he topped last year's leaderboard, entering the PGT
75.
Oh, no,
Championship.
it's less now.
Right, 75,000.
111.
Haxton comes in with the raise, Queen 9-7 deuce, and Foxen's got the Ace King 9-5.
10 seconds.
Queen 4 deuce, top and bottom for Haxton. Continues to just connect with flops as the chip leader. Would imagine that it'd be hard for Foxen to continue here. But let's see. I would expect a bet here from
10 seconds.
Haxton.
Yep.
Checks back, okay. Jack on the turn, second spade. Backdoor spades now working as well for Haxton, who still has 2 pair. Queens and deuces.
Hot.
195. That's 195.
Time extension.
A little bit of a delayed continuation bet there from Haxton. Comes with pot on the turn, takes it down. These players are still incredibly deep. Foxen's a short stack, but he's got 34 big blinds still to work with, so plenty of flexibility for him.
Here's a reminder that Kalshi allows you to trade on the U.S. election legally. Go to kalshi.com/PokerGo right now. Markets are available for who will win the presidential election, who will control the House and Senate, who will win swing states, and much more. Sign up now at kalshi.com/PokerGo. The first 500 traders who deposit $100 will get a free $20 credit. Own the outcome at kalshi.com/PokerGo.
Ace Queen 9-8 here for Lamb.
Raise 80,000.
Certainly good enough to come in for a raise. And Foxen, look at this one.
Wow.
Ace, Ace, King, Jack, double suited.
10 seconds.
Speaking of pretty hands, it doesn't get much prettier than this
Time
at
extension.
Pod Limit Omaha. Jack 10-7-6 for Haxton, gets out of the way. And Lamb has a respectable hand here, Donnie. In position also.
He does in position. I think I would expect him to continue with the call. I mean, I think Haxton's deep enough that he can call
break
here.
after
and
this too? No. No break here.
Maybe that means he's going to fold.
Fold.
Wow.
Just let it go.
I dropped 2040.
See? If you had some bounties, if you had done any work yesterday, I would have had to call there.
We've gotten paid.
Not worth anything. I'll let you live. Smart. New strategy.
That's what I had.
New strategy.
Yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
get any bounties to set
Yeah.
up the final table and be able to.
Smart.
there's also a
smart.
$75,000
Well, I was
pay
doing
jump.
it.
I mean, it's not like you just need the bounties, right?
I do love how Ben Lamb just called Alex Foxen worthless.
Call.
Seconds.
Call.
Check.
Check.
For those just tuning in, we had some early casualties here at this final table. Jouhkimainen, Serock, and Bryce Yockey quick to depart. But now we have a really deep stacked PLO match on our hands between Haxton, Lamb, and Foxen. Ace, ace, deuce on the flop gives Lamb the check mark here on the flop with aces full of ducks.
$50,000.
115.
10 seconds.
Oh, wow. 2 customers, Donnie, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, Foxen just on a total airball here.
And so is Haxton.
Well, Haxton at least has diamonds. I mean, I know that they're not the best diamonds in this situation, but at least that's like what he's gunning for.
The 7 high diamonds on a paired board, probably not looking too value-ish.
10 seconds.
Lamb trying to figure out how he wants to play this one.
Time extension.
How many times are you 100% on the flop in PLO, especially 3 ways?
I mean, almost never. Almost never.
Call.
10 seconds.
Lamb just makes the call. Happy
I was going to be confused if you called.
to let anyone bluff at it, and Foxen quickly releases his 50K stab. That was sort of all that he wanted to commit here. 6 of hearts on the turn.
Definitely a spot where if you're Haxton, I mean, I think alarm bells have to be going off when Lamb plays his hand the way he did. I mean, but what's Lamb going to do, right? You know, it's like anything I do here, call. If I raise, it's going to look kind of obvious.
Check.
Haxton probably deciding to give up here.
Yeah, I can't imagine he continues at this point. Into the muck it goes. Lamb chips up some more. Seen a lot of full houses today. Like
yeah.
3, 4, maybe 5 of them. I don't know. Well, I've seen a few. Lamb's had a couple himself.
That's right.
Blinds are up 20,000, 40,000. That means Foxen as a short stack has about 27 big blinds to work with, which is still quite a lot.
$95.
10 seconds.
Raise 95,000.
I just expect Haxton to stay on the gas here at any point. No real reason for him to slow down. I mean, he has met some resistance. Players willing to get in pots with him, but still 140 big blinds deep. Big gap between him and second place. No real reason to stay off the gas.
It'll be interesting to see if these players are going to try to build pots by perhaps some more 3-betting pre. But since we're going to see a high percentage of button opens, Donnie, building those pots from the blinds, probably not advised in a game where the equities run this close.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a lot of conservative routes. There was a hand not too long ago when Foxen flatted from the big blind with, I think it was ace king 9 5, ace king 9 4, something like that, you know. Given the ace and the king in his hand, given the fact that Haxton's opening pretty much whatever he wants, you know, there might be some players out there that say, okay, this is a spot where I can 3-bet, but I think these players have exercised the fact that they're going to take things somewhat cautiously pre-flop and then go from there. Haxton, of course, continues to be the aggressor. He is the big chip leader. Foxen not willing to go anywhere just yet, Has that pair of threes, has backdoor spades. Connects here with this 10 nicely, 2 pair.
One of the things that always scares me in PLO is when you get shorthanded like this, you're going to have to call off lighter. But at the same time, it's also going to put you into more difficult spots, especially on later streets. Now, of course, Haxton improves in this specific case, but
Check mark here for Foxen. 2 pair 10s and 3s.
Seconds.
280.
Time extension.
280.
Foxen gets Haxton to let it go, and he chips up. Foxen 1.3 million, 32 big blinds. Very comfortable here. If you're catching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have daily highlights and clips. And, of course, lots of streaming happening all the time. So if you're a poker fan, why not just hit that subscribe button. Haxton started this final table with 240 big blinds. He's down to 135 big blinds. That, of course, all due to the fact that the blinds have gone up. Foxen limps in from the small for 20K, and Haxton finds a playable one. Ace, Queen, 8-8. He's going to race the pot.
120. Raise 120.
Seconds.
Go.
Foxen comes along and makes the call. Have not had a peek at his cards yet. Ace, 7, 8. And look at this. Haxton smashes it again. Middle set. And also an ace blocker. Now, of course, safe to assume Foxen is not sitting on slow played aces here, but still, never hurts to also have that kind of board coverage. Now, the issue, of course, here is what are we going to get value from? We're going to get value from straight draws and flush draws, so we're going to be betting here, trying to build this pot and really charge Foxen for any draws that he might
165.
That's 165.
Time extension.
have. Bet is 165. Action on Foxen.
10 seconds.
Lets it go without us getting a peek at it. Haxton continues to rake in the pots, and I don't think Haxton has folded many hands here at this final table so far.
All right.
If you're with us in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for between Lamb, Foxen, and Haxton. We sure have fans of all players represented here.
Seconds.
Queen Jack 5-5 for Foxen of the double suited variety. He's going to just call for 40K.
10 seconds.
Call.
Check.
Check.
10 seconds.
Five, king, 7. Foxen hits bottom set in this three-way pot.
Check.
Both Lamb and Haxton do not have a ton. Of course, a gut shot there for Lamb, but that's not something to get too excited about.
Seconds.
120.
Foxen bets 120, and he's going to get the bad news that he's going to have no customers on this one. Shout out to Incredible One on YouTube. Says, salute Remko and Donnie live from Bangladesh. I love finding out that we have people watching from all over the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to let us know where you're watching from,
I
we'll
feel
try
like
to
you're
get
so
some
short,
shout outs
but you
here.
have like 30-something blinds.
Yeah, this is. I think we had one of the no limit tournaments where we didn't get in the money until 30K big blind, and this was like an all in away from being heads up in 30K big blind with like the same number of players.
Yeah. It's funny.
Pretty wild.
Seeing a good variety of fandom in the chat as well. Also a reminder, this is going to be on PokerGO exclusively, starting in about 3 minutes. This is a 1-hour preview of the action if you're catching us on
95.
YouTube.
10 seconds.
To all our PokerGO
5,000.
friends, thank you for already joining us there. Seeing quite a few Ben Lamb fans, including someone who is named Ben Lamb is my father and someone who is named Ben Lamb is my granddad. So, hey,
10
the more you know. Ben Lamb has lots of children out there, I'm guessing. Haxton makes it 95K with the queen, 9-3-3. Foxen with aces in the big blinds. Surely we're going to see a 3-bet here.
Pot.
Pot
You have like
size,
1.2,
3-bet.
1.3 to start.
Yeah, just about 1.2. Or, yeah.
Haxton with some immediate interest here.
Little
Just
over
running the
1.2.
numbers. Let's see if he can make the
1,
call
2,
in
4,
position
5.
here with the double suited queen 9. Of course, Donnie, very disconnected here, but the double suited properties 3 ways might lean us towards making a call, perhaps.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we've seen him kind of call with some kind of speculative hands so far. Maybe if Foxen has a bigger bounty. Yeah, I know we had Ben Lamb pointed it out earlier that Foxen was worthless.
Too cheap. Too
But
cheap.
Foxen's bounty only being $13,000. Haxton says, I'm not going to go bounty hunting just yet. There might also be some thought that, you know, Foxen, while he is the short stack of these 3, he's still pretty deep with around 35 big blinds. So he's probably not just like firing it in trying to get his stack in. Let's say if he had, you know, 6 big blinds, 8 big blinds, something like that, right? So he might be a little bit stronger up in the range. So Haxton, you know, with a hand like a queen 9-3-3, you know, those kind of more speculative hands he's just going to open with because he's the big chip leader, might then think better about it, about getting in himself a spot where he doesn't have the best equity against Foxen. You obviously don't want to double up Alex Foxen, so another good one here for Alex. This time it's Lamb who's the first raiser. We saw Lamb open earlier, get 3-bet by Foxen, and he folded,
10 seconds.
what was it, ace, queen, 9-8, I believe, with 1 suit suited to the 9, had 9-8 of diamonds. Similar sort of spot here, he's going to give it up again.
Barely.
Foxen showing him that I'm not totally worthless, okay? I'm worth 13K.
Oh, that's so funny.
Have you, or go ahead.
Yeah, let me take care of this, Donnie. We have some business to attend to here because WPT has launched Club WPT Gold, $5 million invitational free roll. As far as I know, the biggest free roll of all time. $1 million first prize taking place December 13th in Las Vegas. If you want to win your way to this event, sign up at clubwptgold.com right now and get in the mix. And on that note, we'll wrap up our YouTube coverage here for today. Thank you all so much for everyone who is with us on YouTube. We're going to head on over to PokerGO.com. If you are in the chat with us there, please give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from on PokerGO. And for now, we'll send it over to PokerGO. And tomorrow, we'll have a new preview as well of that day's action. So thanks for watching. And
You know,
we'll catch
Ike's the best
in a little
pot
bit.
limit player in the world that looks at his cards like this. Instead of like a normal human. I call. That's a fact, by the way.
I believe it.
You find anyone else that looks at the cards like that, I'll bet on Ike versus him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll squeeze in one more hand for the YouTube crowd here as we have some action.
10 seconds.
7, 8, 9, 2 hearts. Haxton with the unorthodox squeeze, Donnie. It always makes me laugh.
There are some weird squeezes.
Oh, really?
Elis Parsonen, I like feel like he looks at them backwards. I don't really understand how it works.
10 seconds.
Maybe he doesn't even know what he has. He's just like
There's some players that line them up like all four and then peel them all up at the same. There's some very weird squeezes going on in the PLO world.
Ben Lamb, probably one of the most, one of the best card handlers,
10
I'd say.
seconds.
Yeah.
Good
130.
card squeezer.
That's 130.
And Lamb here with 5% equity is going to bet 130. He's got backdoor spades. He's got some high cards for perhaps some runner straight potential. But this is all Isaac Haxton, as he has flopped.
Yeah, Lamb
The
just trying to
world.
win this right here would
Yep.
be my guess, you know. But Haxton's going to get sticky, of course. He's got that straight.
Jack of diamonds on the turn. The straight just got even better. Now, of course, Haxton's straight getting better is not necessarily true because now Lamb has a gut shot to a higher straight.
Yeah, Lamb actually picked up some equity here.
Went from 5% to 8%.
Of course, Haxton does have one of those 10s that he would need, but
10 seconds.
Check.
Action goes check, check. Haxton not committing, so Lamb gets a free look at the river. But as you can tell here, this 4 diamonds not doing anything for him.
Seconds.
$140.
Time extension.
Haxton goes for value with his straight on the very sort of plain river card. Lamb lets it go. Haxton rakes it in. All right, that is it on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow.
95.
10 seconds.
Raise 95,000.